1. O people, be careful of your duty to your Lord, who created you from a single being and created its mate of the same kind, and spread from these two many men and women. And be careful of your duty to Allah, by whom you demand one of another your rights, and 2. The ties of relationship. Surely Allah ever watches over you. Yes, friends. To comment. This verse is quite clear that people say that incest relationship multiplied. Let's say Adam and Eve were created. Children get into a relationship with each other and get pregnant. The child is born. The born children also get into a relationship with each other and get pregnant. This is nirvana in incest. Disability children are born due to DNA mismatch and consanguineous marriages. In this incestuous relationship, everyone is intact, and it can produce fertile progeny. Unreasonable. Yes. Let's continue. 2. And give to the orphans their property, and do not substitute worthless things for their good ones, and do not devour their property as an addition to your own property. This is surely a great crime. 3. And if you fear that you cannot act equitably towards orphans, then marry such women as seem good to you. 2 and 3 and 4. But if you fear that you will not do justice between them, then marry only one or what your right hands possess. This is more proper, that you may not deviate from the right course. Yes, friends. To comment. So what's the relevance now? Orphans. 3, 4. Why are you getting married? You will definitely benefit from little girls. This is perversion. This is the reflection of the Arab culture. What about male orphans? Are there any women who will marry? The word sex with a slave woman is a provision that makes the relationship out of wedlock legitimate. The mine has such a provision. Why are you blocking the nation and rape your little girls? A verse that could be written by a person completely obsessed with sex. Yes. Let's continue. 11. Allah enjoins you concerning your children. The male shall have the equal of the portion of 2 females. Then if there are more than 2 females, they shall have 2/3 of what the deceased has left, and if there is one, she shall have the half, and as for his parents, each of them shall have the 1/6 of what he has left if he has a child, but if he has no child and only his 2 parents inherit him, then his mother shall have the 1/3, but if he has brothers, then his mother shall have the 1/6. After the payment of a bequest he may have bequeathed or debt, your parents and your children. You know not which of them is the nearer to you in usefulness. This is an ordinance from Allah. Surely Allah is knowing, wise. 12. And you shall have half of what your wives leave if they have no child, but if they have a child, then you shall have 1/4 of what they leave after payment of any bequest they may have bequeathed or debt, and they shall have the 1/4 of what you leave if you have no child. But if you have a child, then they shall have the 1/8 of what you leave after payment of a bequest you may have bequeathed or a debt. And if a man or a woman leaves property to be inherited by neither parents nor offspring, and he or she has a brother or a sister, then each of them 2 shall have the 1/6. Yes, friends. To comment. There is an unjust God which is given to the male with 2 female shares. God, who is not tired of the injustice of the female sex, wants us to accept and practice this religion. Allah is knower. He's a wise God, isn't he? He always praises himself in the Quran. In addition, the punishment does not rush, it does not neglect. A sadistic creature devoid of pity. Yes. Let's continue. 15. And as for those who are guilty of an indecency from among your women, call to witnesses against them 4 witnesses from among you. Then if they bear witness, confine them to the houses until death takes them away or Allah opens some way for them. Yes, friends. To comment. 4 men or 8 women want witnesses, because in the Quran, 1 male and 2 female spouses were kept. That means women are stupid, of course, according to the Quran. This is more than an adultery incident. If you have a sex party, I mean to punish the woman. She supports my interpretation of how 4 people may have seen her while having sex. And what is it to lock in the house? God will open a new path. She will come out. Psychological torture. Since he is not the god of the car, he will be able to leave the house when his husband asks him for it. Yes. Let's continue. 16. And as for the two who are guilty of indecency from among you, give them both a punishment. Then if they repent and amend, turn aside from them. Surely Allah is oft returning to mercy, the merciful. Yes, friends. To comment. When you do the sexuality you need, we are talking about a religion that needs to be persecuted. Allah says, in the script he set up, he asks for a battle to spread Islam with sight of one while fighting the instincts he gives in the middle of the arena. Yes. Let's continue. 25. And whoever among you has not within his power ampleness of means to marry free believing women, then he may marry of those whom your right hands possess from among your believing maidens. And Allah knows best your faith. You are sprung the one from the other, so marry them with the permission of their masters, and give them their dowries justly, they being chaste, not fornicating, nor receiving paramours, and when they are taken in marriage, then if they are guilty of indecency, they shall suffer half the punishment which is inflicted upon free women. This is for him among you who fears falling into evil, and that you abstain is better for you, and Allah is forgiving, merciful. Yes, friends. To comment. Now in the previous verse there was persecution of adultery. Here, too, women who have sex outside of marriage, which means that the concubines have been made to be halal. What are we thinking? We're dealing with bullshit, without knowing anything. If sexuality is a bad thing, why is there a struggle for satisfaction at every step? Why are they marrying 3 or 4 women? Why do we have 30 to 40 concubines? There's money in the wedding. Sex for money. One half of the free woman's penalty is applied. This is unfair to the free woman. Islam is a heavy insult to the mind of mankind. Yes. Let's continue. 34. Men are the maintainers of women because Allah has made some of them to excel others, and because they spend out of their property. The good women are therefore obedient, guarding the unseen as Allah has guarded. And as to those on whose part you fear desertion, admonish them, and leave them alone in the sleeping places and beat them. Then if they obey you, do not seek a way against them. Surely Allah is high, great. Yes, friends. To comment. Here's one more injustice. The male has been created superior to women. Women who are concerned about their rudeness are punished with beatings and violence. Caution. No more action. You just have to doubt. Violence against women. It is very strange that an action criticized all over the world is among the orders of this religion. Then, if they obey, do not seek excuse for persecution, he says. A woman who does what her husband says, they won't be tormented. But if the orders are not immediately, there is beating. This is the filth of Islam. As long as we do not erase Islam from the world, violence against women will always be. In America, the woman calls the police and says, "I've been subjected to violence." Her husband's life turns dark. He'll rot in prison. Woman is seen as goods in Islamic countries. Yes. Let's continue. 43. O you who believe, do not go near prayer when you are intoxicated until you know, well, what you say. Nor when you are under an obligation to perform a bath unless you are traveling on the road until you have washed yourselves, and if you are sick, or on a journey, or one of you come from the privy, or you have touched the women, and you cannot find water, betake yourselves to pure earth, then wipe your faces and your hands. Surely Allah is pardoning, forgiving. Yes, friends. To comment. Wasn't alcohol haram? I remember wrong. He says not to approach prayer until he knows what you say. Is a verse about a substance that is haram? Haram is haram. If you had drunk alcohol, do not approach the prayer. Why did God put this expression in the book? Isn't this the normalization of alcohol? And when you touch the woman, you get soiled. You're soiled. You need to clean it with water. She said it was an asshole. What kind of insult is this? Also, cleaning is done with water. If the water is not found, why do I need to make a tayammum with the soil? For more contamination? What kind of logic is that? These are the continuation of old rituals.